Good afternoon and welcome to Dublin Airport Terminal 2. Dublin Airport is the largest airport on the Emerald Isle, and Terminal 2 is the home to Aer Lingus, who we are flying with today back to London Heathrow. I've had a lot of mixed reviews about Aer Lingus, but I've never flown with them, so I'm actually intrigued to see what they're like. Let's go and check in. Dublin Terminal 2 serves as the main hub for Aer Lingus, boasting an array of check-in desks situated at the eastern end of the terminal building. Yet it's not solely Aer Lingus that departs from T2. At the opposite western end of the terminal, travellers will find check-in desks for American and Middle Eastern airlines. Today, Aer Lingus was all hustle bustle at the check-in desk, but I was one step ahead, having checked in for today's flight via my mobile, displaying a rare moment of efficiency. I went for the Economy Plus ticket, not exactly rolling in luxury, but for the extra 35 quid, I got to call dibs on my seat early with the bonus of a checked bag and priority boarding. Heading to security, staring at those never-ending tensor barriers, it hit me how busy Dublin Airport usually is, especially with all those wide-body planes heading stateside. But today, it was like a breath of fresh air in the security line, quieter than a library on a Sunday morning. Feeling pretty chuffed, I had no idea my luck was about to change. You'll soon see why. With security being a breeze, I had plenty of time to wander around the departure area. Got to admit, Terminal 2 has some serious charm. Despite being around for nearly 14 years, it still feels fresh and vibrant. Originally, it was meant to handle all of the long-haul flights alongside Aer Lingus, but thanks to the surge in traffic from across the pond, the majority of long-haul carriers have been left in Terminal 1. It's thanks to this influx of flights from the major US carriers that Terminal 2 has become a real hub for transatlantic travel. They've even moved the US pre-clearance immigration setup to T2, so if you're hopping on a non-stop flight to the US, you can breeze through immigration before you even board, allowing you to land already feeling like a local. Adjacent to the 400 gates are the lounges. The Aer Lingus lounge is for Advantage and Airspace ticket holders and Air Club members with silver status or higher. There's no lounge luxury for me today as I was heading straight for the gates. But there's always next time, right? My gate number was the infamous Gate 335, which in essence is an old departure area masquerading as a bus stop, where shuttle buses transfer passengers to a satellite boarding area known as the South Gates. The South Gates consist of 9 stands, allowing Aer Lingus fast turnaround times on short-haul flights. I feel a Ryanair ramp wait coming on. It was at this juncture that Storm Kathleen had begun to wreak havoc in Eastern Ireland, and guess who gets caught up in the whirlwind? Yes, yours truly. With aircraft struggling to land due to high winds, my flight was inevitably delayed, leaving me with nothing to do but twiddle my thumbs and wait. At long last, my chariot arrived, a 19-year-old Airbus A320-200 sporting Aer Lingus' sleek modern livery. And lo and behold, as expected, we were summoned for boarding, only to be met with the ramp wait, albeit this time not for very long. Now we've got this far, let's talk about Aer Lingus, shall we? Well, it holds the title of Ireland's national carrier and is a subsidiary of International Airlines Group, IAG, the same people who own British Airways. Now, they've coined themselves as the purveyors of the small frills business model. a hybrid of classic legacy airline and low-cost carrier. The distinction? Well, my friends, it's all in the services. Short-haul flights have a different offering compared to the long-haul ones, with complimentary meals reserved exclusively for the latter. As of today, Aer Lingus boasts an all-Airbus fleet of around 54 aircraft. Finally on board and settled, I was looking forward to getting back to London, knowing it wouldn't be long until we pushed back and headed for the runway. Unfortunately, due to air traffic control restrictions, looks like our plane is going to be delayed by about an hour. The air traffic control restrictions have been caused by a number of go-arounds here at Dublin today because of the windy conditions. It's not good, but there's nothing we can do about it. I have to just sit and wait. So, whilst I have some time to sit about doing nothing, here's a tour of the seat and the facilities. The BE Aerospace Spectrum seats are quite spongy and comfortable, although they appear a little tired. The cabin is bright and less cramped than most budget airlines, and the legroom is good for short asses like me, with a seat pitch of around 30 inches. There's no seat back pocket for storage, and the tray table is generously sized and can accommodate a laptop easily, although the cleanliness of the seat and table leaves a lot to be desired. With cabin cleanliness proving not to be Aer Lingus' strong point, I ventured to the bathroom unsure of what I would find. As expected, being at the back of an old A320, the toilet would be rather cosy. However, it was perfectly clean.
Fitted with smoke alarms. It is an offence to tamper with these alarms or to remove any safety equipment.
At last, we pushed back and taxied out to runway 16 for our departure. Finally, we were on our way. In fact, we weren't on our way at all. We were stuck behind numerous aircraft all queuing to depart, waiting for their slots in between the arrivals. This was it. We were finally here, the front of the queue. Time to turn and burn and get back to London. Oh, where's he going now? Given my recent streak of luck, I initially suspected a technical issue with the aircraft. However, the pilot clarified that as he commenced the takeoff roll, the wind suddenly intensified beyond the aircraft's operational limits. Consequently, exercising prudence, he aborted the takeoff. This led to us taxiing back round and rejoining the queue, awaiting a lull in the wind before attempting the takeoff again. Here's a replay of our little tour of Dublin Airport, courtesy of Flight Radar, which does depict the aborted takeoff quite well. Eventually though, we were at the front of the queue and next to depart. Second time lucky. After finally departing, today's flight was very short. However, owing to congestion in the airspace above London, it took around 1 hour and 20 minutes to cover the 240 nautical miles. Finally airborne from Dublin about 2 hours late, and That was one of the windiest, bumpiest takeoffs I've ever experienced. It all adds to the fun. I deserve a beer now. In no time at all, we were starting our descent, and I managed to catch a glimpse of this cool Lufthansa A320 whilst we were stacked up waiting for our run-in over London. And just to finish my day off in style, yep, my battery ran out at the pinnacle point of landing.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're very welcome to London Heathrow. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the aircraft has arrived on stand and the seatbelt sign has been switched off.
And there we have it, the conclusion to a rather protracted day with Aer Lingus, culminating nearly 2.5 hours behind schedule. But what insights can we glean from today's experience? Well, it's evident that Aer Lingus' short-haul flights epitomise the budget side of their hybrid business model, being very similar to that of other low-cost airlines across Europe. While the cabin appeared less cramped compared to some budget carriers, cleanliness was noticeably lacking, likely due to the swift turnarounds and weather-induced delays. Despite the challenges, the cabin crew remained amicable, helpful and engaging, a commendable feat in somewhat trying circumstances. So, setting aside the weather-related hiccups, would you consider flying with Aer Lingus? Do they offer better value for money compared to their budget airline counterparts? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Oh, and before you go, please hit that like and subscribe button. It's completely free and it ensures you'll never miss another flight review. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm off to charge my batteries.